So we have 7.1, which is the first patch of the season. I'm super happy because I believe this is what LCS is going to be starting to play on. So I'm pretty excited about that. Looks like the stream's lagging. Sorry about that. I don't know what to do about that, unfortunately. But yeah, so let's dive right into it. I'm really excited because, yeah, this is what LCS is going to be played on. This is what OGN is going to be played on, or LCK, I guess, now, because of SPO TV. LPL, all these different leagues are going to be starting out. They're going to be playing on this patch, I believe. So yeah, that's really funny. They say 7.1 is a little bit more nerf heavy than your regular balance patch, which is like super funny coming from Riot, because Riot Games have historically had this mentality of like nerf the heavy stuff, because that basically just like always is a better idea generally in terms of like long-term balance, because it always is gonna fight against power creep, and power creep is not necessarily like always a bad thing, but it's definitely a detriment for something that you want to have like go for the long term, and it always kind of hurts the backlog of on the backlog, but the things that you did a long time ago, the history of the game, and it's gonna help things moving forward. But yeah, I just think it's funny that they say that, because they always nerf things. Anyway, let's see. Okay, so yeah. I saw a bunch of these on PvE, so a lot of them I'm gonna have a previous knowledge of, and previous thoughts about. And maybe I always thought, I never really knew why they didn't just add that little visual indicator for when it's fully formed, because of, especially of her E, how her E is only now proccable. The crit only happens when you either land a fully formed R or a Q recast of Q. So I feel like it's really important to make sure that people know when that's fully formed. Yeah, and then just a bug fix. Let's see. Yeah, I saw these Camille nerfs a little bit, and it was really, really underwhelming what they did here. Her passive is not really going to change that much, nor the health. The health actually could be a substantial a hit, but I think that overall it's pretty weak of a nerf, and I think she's still going to be pretty overwhelming. The hook shot's just looks like a bug fix kind of. Yeah, it's just she's revealed anyway, so I don't think that really does much. I could be wrong. Her ultimate, I don't think really does much. It stuns people for less when you ult somebody near other people. They get stunned. They get knocked away and stunned. It's odd because you don't if they're like stunned for slightly less time or something like that, which not like a negligible amount of time basically, and they're knocked away faster too. So I guess potentially that could be the fix, or like the big hitter, because if you jump into a team fight and just are ulting the carry or whatever, it's not just gonna let you kill them instantly. Like people are gonna be able to be like, oh no, I'm gonna put a shield on you, really quick. So it's gonna be give more agency to people playing with the person that Camille is trying to assassinate. Okay, Draven buffs. Let's see, the ratio went up by a lot. Oh no, sorry. Total to bonus attack damage. Okay. I don't mind that. So it has a base damage, and then so early on. It's probably going to be doing more damage early on. It looks like about 10 more damage early on, I think. No, it's going to do less damage early on. Okay, unless you have runes and masteries, which is probably going to be doing roughly the same damage, a little bit less though. But you're going to be maxing your spinning axe, so probably going to get pretty crazy pretty quick. W mana, good mana cooldown, or mana down is awesome. That's going to feel really good for those Draven mains who've been complaining about mana problems. So Kalista, E, Rend, stacks on stacks, basic attacks and Q pierce, add a spear to enemies at all times. Don't. Okay. That's probably going to be pretty good. I think that Kalista's still pretty weak. She just doesn't have a lot of damage. Her damage is is pretty low. I think this is going to be really thematic and cool, and, like, interesting, but it doesn't help with her power, and that's where, like, she needs help, not thematics. So Karma is not being changed very much. It's just like a clarity thing on W. So her W now, instead of like taking 3 times the damage, it takes 2 at the beginning and end, similar to LeBlanc's Chain, instead of like just having a random additional tick in the middle. Her E is nerfed a little bit, which makes a lot of sense. Her E gets pretty ridiculous, especially in teamfights late game. The shield is comparable to like old Locket, if anybody remembers that. It was just ridiculous because it didn't decay during the duration or anything like that. So yeah. Kennen, they're moving a lot of the power to the end of his ultimate, as in like it now, instead of just running in and like doing a crap ton of damage with the first hit and then just like that's the team fight one. You now have to like sit in it for a while to actually do a lot of damage. I think the same like total amount of damage is roughly the same, but having it more focused on the end makes a lot of sense because it encourages like a wombo combo to like either like get two procs of your passive onto a carry first and then go in with ultimate so that you can like stun them and then focus them down, as well as kind of like zoning everybody out. Or you can just like combo it with like a Malphite ultimate or a Shockwave or a like a Zyra ultimate or something that CCs them anyway, so that you can like just like sit on top of them while they're CC'd. Yeah, so either way it works pretty well. But yeah, I think that this will make him more of a niche pick, a lot less like, I mean, he wasn't even that good to begin with. I think that this was kind of a knee-jerk regression to how strong Kennen was a little while back, but he's kind of fallen out of favor. So yeah. Anyway, Lee Sin, broken as hell, nerfing the ultimate damage makes sense. Their ultimate nerfing his E a little bit. No longer reveals visible targets, which is like let's see, not Twitch anymore. Like Shaco, Kha'Zix. Actually, this now that I think about it, this has actually made Kha'Zix really strong. I think that Lee Sin was actually one of the few junglers that was outdoing Kha'Zix, and I think that Kha'Zix is going to probably come up as probably one of the best junglers. Hecarim's also really strong. Elise is fine. A couple other ones. Ivern's really strong. But yeah, I think that Kha'Zix in particular was really shut down by Lee Sin specifically because of his reveal, because of his damage output early on. He could actually match Kha'Zix and duel him. And was, clear times were even, things like that. But yeah, I think Kha'Zix is going to get really strong because of this change, surprisingly. The Lucian buffs actually look really solid. I think they up his early game, enough to be really solid. I think that once your light slinger is going to do 10% more damage, which is really solid. Or, yeah, I guess not quite 10% more damage. Like, the extra hit is going to do 10% more damage. But yeah, early on. And then it's just going to scale, I think, a little bit quicker into the late game as well, which is really nice. I think that the Piercing Light buff is going to help kind of tide you over. You're going to hit a nice power spike at your first item, I think, and he's going to be able to be really strong with probably Affinity Edge or whatever you build on. I think that first item is going to really hit hard, and you're going to be doing a lot with that. Compared to other AD carriers who really need that second item, I think that Lucian, with his mobility and his passive and his burst, it's gonna hit really hard, and people are going to like Lucian again quite a bit. Poppy Shield duration, that's good. It's not amazing. I think that the damage on the ultimate wasn't really the problem. I think that your W was really kind of just busted. And I think that they really need to take a look at that instead of this. I think that the ult... Oh, the Snapcast damage. I think that's immediate damage. I could be wrong. I think that Snapcast means just like an instant cast instead of winding it up first. Don't quote me on that. Let's see. Poppy tends to trace against him. I do this, blah, blah. Snapcast ultimate. Yeah, they don't really explain what Snapcast means, but that's okay. Anyway. Let's see. Rise. One of the goals in Rise of Steel 16 update was to diversify strengths beyond the raw offensive threat. Adding defense and utility-oriented tuning levers meant that we'd have the means to balance around his damage, not just the damage itself. That brings us to today. Rise has enough to get there. Let's see. So the shield is scales with levels. Okay, I actually thought it scaled with it as a Q, which would make more sense, but anyway. Whatever. So it scales up to 200. No, 150 instead of 200. Okay. Okay, then the movement speed is nerfed. Interesting. Okay. So basically what they're doing is they're saying, okay, we have this utility, we have this defensive power in the shield. We're going to make it so that we can scale that instead and nerf that instead of the raw damage, so that he's less access to that damage because he has to leave the fight earlier, he can't catch up to the person, etc., which I guess makes sense. And I think the movement speed specifically is going to be the really big factor here, but yeah. Okay, W, Shyvana, just worse than the jungle. Okay. I didn't think she was all that great anyway. I mean, she was solid, but yeah. Okay, let's see. Force of Will, good. Okay, less Cinder Power. Yeah, I saw this on the PvE, and basically what it's going to do is it's going to allow players to not just get randomly one-shot by Cinders who missed everything and just have 7 balls on the floor anyway. Just because, you know, getting the balls out is basically all that matters at this point, not actually hitting anybody with your skill shots, which is just ridiculous. So W is going to have more damage now, which is awesome, because it's going to have more power to her kit in places that it wasn't before, and it's taking away the power in places that it didn't need it, like the ultimate, and the cooldown's going to go up, and it's awesome. Love it. Carries rejoice. Okay. So let's see. So the Q, I didn't know that it actually gives sustain. That's pretty cool. I appreciate that. Mana regeneration growth stat, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, because what that's going to do is it's going to make his farming inner turret perfectly exactly way better. It's going to make him be able to sustain up in lane way better. It's going to make him be able to roam actually and have health and mana for that kind of thing. And that's what Talon really needs to do, and it really wants to do. Zezrot portal. Let's see. Okay, so they're making it so that you have to more frequently replace your Zezrot portal. Let's see. So the voice bond turret damage is going up. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So if you place it near an enemy turret, it's really going to do a lot of damage there. That's awesome. Okay. Interesting. So they don't gain health per level. Okay, so they're weaker now, but they do more damage. Okay, interesting. Health decay. Okay, so they go down quicker too. Okay, interesting. So it's going to be more like an offensive thing. So you kind of want to put it near an enemy turret now instead of just leaving it by your turret so that it won't get destroyed. You want to put it near an enemy turret so that it'll push instead of just like putting it back and just leaving it there. Okay, interesting. That's going to be super interesting. I think that on tanks, this is going to give them a lot more of power in terms of like offensive pushing power, which is really interesting. I think that tanks for the longest time didn't really have that, and they still don't. This hopefully is going to do that, because Zezrot portal is also already kind of a popular item. I think that it just needs kind of like this. Hopefully, I think that the no health per level is going to be pretty shitty, but we'll see what happens with that. Okay, once scouted, plants continue emitting idle VFX through Fog of War. Okay. Let's see. That's good. So, clarity. Attacking plants no longer puts Kha'Zix in combat, preventing... Oh, interesting. Okay. Good. Good. That's good. Okay. Some bug faces, it looks like. Oh, pick up is a fruits highly reduced. Interesting. I thought those were kind of hard to pick up already, but alright. Let's see. Small auto ping. Oh, okay, cool. Alright. So I think it looks like they're changing pings a little bit, like the automatic pings, like the TF ultimate, Rek'Sai ultimate, things like that. Teleport ping. So I'm happy about that. That's cool. I have always thought that they were kind of weird. I mean, the sound helps, but like if you like aren't listening to the sound or whatever, you have music on, it's kind of hard to tell. So I appreciate that. Malzahar and Rengar can now be affected by Plascone triggers during their spell immunity effects. Okay, interesting. So yeah, so if you're Malzahar and you're just walking around and you're like, oh no, I'm about to get caught, and you're like, hop over. Oh no, I didn't get knocked over because my passive. Now they're just gonna kill me because I don't have my passive. That's pretty shitty. Okay, so that helps out a lot actually for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, okay. Jungle experience. Oh no. Jungle experience down across the board. Stacks additively with Krug being 50% first clear. Okay. So they're just giving things less experience across the board, it looks like. Wait. I'm quite confused. First clear. Merc Wolf, Raptor, Krug, and Gromp camps grant 25 less experience on their first clear. Okay. So that means that 75% for Ancient Krug on the first clear, or 25% total, 75% reduced. But they're giving more for some camps, like the Crimson, like the Raptors, but less for everything else. Okay. So they're reducing all. Okay, interesting. Whoa. Okay, so basically you're going to get less in the first clear, but Raptors are going to be better for a first clear. If you can manage that, which is awesome. I think that Raptors definitely need more of an incentive to get, because they're really, really tough right away. Twisted Tree Line I don't really care about. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. I really am going to have to play with this one. It's really difficult to kind of be like, yeah, that's what's going to, I know exactly what's going to happen here, because this, like, I'd have to do, like, a bunch of math or something, and I'm not a math guy for this. But I really have to play with this and kind of understand why, or like what this implies in terms of like early ganking. Maybe like level 3 ganks are like pushed back quite a bit. Maybe they have to recall before their first gank sometimes. Things like that. People with sustain are probably actually going to have a less of a good time. It's possible that if you have to recall no matter what, or if like you can't gank for a certain time, maybe recalling is just a better way to go about it anyway. Something like that. I don't know. Because maybe you want to get an item, maybe your smite to gank better, things like that. Maybe it'll work that way. We'll see. Anyway, that'll do it for my patch note preview or review.